Start the mission. Right. So I have mistakenly yeah, I guess. So let me correct it now. First one. Yeah. So I just corrected that one. So I'll try it again. Anyway, so there's questions of final exam, like final exam එක මම හිතන්නේ අපිට 18 තියෙන්නේ. Right? So final exam එක ගොඩක් දුරට ඔයගලන්ට මේ online exam එකක් තියෙනවා. කියන ඔයගොල්ලෝ එන්න ඕනේ campus එකට. ඒතර ඒකේ lab එකේ තියෙන්නේ online exam එකක්. ඔයගලන්ට short questions කිහිපයකට අපි හිතමු පැයකමාරක විතර exam එකක් තියෙයි. Short questions කිහිපයක්. MCQ වෙන්න පුළුවන්, structured type වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ જાතියේ questions කිහිපයකට ඔයගලන්ට උත්තර ලියන්න තියෙනවා. ඊට අමතරව සමහර විටක මොන හරි word processing application, spreadsheet, PowerPoint කියන තුනෙන්ම එන්නත් පුළුවන්. සමහරට ප්‍රශ්න දෙකක් විතර එන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගලන්ට මොකක් හරි වෙලාවෙ හදලා ෆයිල් එක අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න. මේ වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So for the final exam, so you will get kind of short questions, including MCQs, and the exam will last for 1.5 hours. Say 1.5 hours, and you will get a bunch of short answered question and MCQ questions, and also you will get kind of a structured question. So in that question, you have to make or prepare a kind of a Word document or Excel or PowerPoint document file, and then you have to upload that into the LMS. So that is the nature of the final exam. So I will give you more information in the next week. And yeah, so up to now, those are the things that I want to say about the final exam. And I just corrected that link, assignment 1. So check that one. And so I'll move into the lecture, today's class. So today we have to complete the first, our third lesson. That is yeah. So hope you can see my screen. Correct. So in the last 2 weeks, we created a document or report for lab. For lab classes. So anyway, so you can use that template file to write your lab reports for future lab classes. So anyway, today our discussion will be related to this mailing section. So especially we are going to make a document for different kind of users or recipients. Using less effort, right? So that is the most important one, because we can make letters for hundred of thousands or thousand of recipient by doing one by one. So, but in this section, so function calling mailing, so we can do it very easily. So let's say you have a document or letter, kind of a letter, and you have a huge list of recipients. I mean, the number of, let's say you have a list of 100 recipients, and you need to customize that letter to each one of them, and you have to, and you need to send that letter by post or email. And to do the modification, so for each and every recipient, so you have to go to the document and you have to make the changes. So instead of that, so we can use this option calling mailing, right? So we call this function as mail merge, right? So you can do that very easily through this function. So let's say, so nowadays it's very popular topic is, let's say you are a kind of officer works in Indian Revenue Department. So these days, we have to open up our tax document, right? Tax files. So let's say you are an officer working at that department, and you have to send a letter to each and every professionals to open up their, to asking to open their tax files. So can you make a kind of a short letter for that one, right? You can simply use modern technology for that. So go to the chat GPT and ask him to write a letter on behalf of you or on behalf of the Indian Revenue Department, right? So so you have to give very short information for that. I mean, to the chat GPT. So it will do the job for you, right? So simply this function, so mail merge option. So you need two things. One thing is your document, and the second one is a list of recipients. So I mean, so you need a database which with the information of recipients or any kind of data set, right? So first thing is you need a document. So we can you write a or generate a document for that purpose. So I asked a ChatGPT to generate one. I have that document. Okay, so this is what I get from the ChatGPT. So right. So don't worry about the content. So just generate a dummy data, right? So if this is a formal letter, so we should include our contact details and recipient contact details and then the name, address, and everything. And we have to mention the, we have to include the subject line and also and then kind of one. Right? First, so you have to insert your name and address. So I'll insert a kind of dummy data for this one. So let's say, let us assume, so my name is Andrew Nelson, and so I'm the Deputy General of the in the section of the pay taxes and in the Department of Inland Revenue, Colombo. This is my email address. This is not a correct one, right? This is an example one. So these are the, my details. Then I have to insert date. So for official letters, it's a must because we have to mention the relevant date that we generate. I mean, the date for the document. So simply you can type the date here, or you can insert a object. I mean, a date object here. So I will insert kind of automated one. So for that, go to the insert and then go to the date and time. So you can pick one of these. So I'll pick this one. And this is very important thing because insert and date and time. Then select one of these. And if you want to update this date and time automatically when you open, I mean, each and every time when you open this document, so you have to check this box, right? Update automatically, otherwise it won't update automatically, right? So I'll check this one and all right. So I have to change. So I don't want to bold and italic this date. Then you need to mention the recipient address, name, address, name, that's designation, address, and zone, right? So I will change the layout of this. I want to make this document in one, I mean, single page, right? So for that, I'll change the page layout, I mean, size and the margins. So let's see, using moderate. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay. So, my document is finished, and I want to add a different names here. I mean, recipient to this document. For that, I'm going to use make this option, mailing option, right? And we'll add my name, designation, and the address at the end of this document too. All right, so this is my document. Right. So I hope you have your document with you, and so I'll start the process of making automatic generated document for each and every recipient. So for that, you have to go to the mailing, right? Then go to the start mail match. Under the start mail match section, so you can select what kind of mail that you want to generate. So, and so in this case, I'm choosing this one later, right? So you have other option too. So you can generate an email, envelope, labels, directory. Yeah, so there are a few more options, but for this particular case, so I will select this option later. Then I need to make my recipient list. So for that, go to the select recipient. So currently I don't have my recipient list. I mean, existing one, so I don't have an existing one. So I'll pick the first option, type a new list, right? So when you click on that option, new list, type a new list, so it will open this kind of window. So in this window, you can insert information of a particular recipient, right? So here you can see the headings. So the first one, title, first name, last name, company, address address line, I guess address line 1, yes. Address line 2, city, state, zip code, country, blah, blah, blah. There are so many headers, right? So you can insert your data into this table, and also you can modify this table too. That means if you don't want to have this information, let's say home phone number, work phone number, and country or those kind of stuff, so you can modify those things too. For that, you can go to this customize column, right? So through this one, so you can add or remove, or you can move this header up and down, right? So let's say I don't want work phone and home phone options. So then I can select that option, I mean that header, and then select delete. So it will ask you when you delete this field, any information in that field will also be deleted, right? Okay, because currently I don't have any information. So I mean for these columns, and I don't want to configure region, this one, and zip code. So clear these headers. I mean unwanted headers. So I need a title, first name, last name, company name, address line 1, 2, and city and email address. So those are the headers that I want to use for this letter. Right. So now you have to insert several entries to this database. So my first person is Mr. Let's say Gayan Pereira. Company is, let's see, his company is Unilever. So these are dummy companies, right? So don't see this on this one. Address line 1 is let's say another one. So we need to add a number to this number as a heading, right? So for that, first you have to select which place that you want to insert a new one. So I need to add the number, the address number before the address line 1. So then now. So we have to move up one. Yeah. Title, first name, last name, company name, number, address 1, address 2, city. And another thing I want, so I want to add a designation here. So that means I want to insert or mention the designation of this person, right? So let's say Gayan Pereira is chief finance officer, CFO, and at Unilever. Number, let's say number 25 -1. Then I don't have address. So address line 2. And city is Colombo. Colombo 5, let's see. And I don't have email address of Kaya. Okay, so I have one entry, and I want to add another entry for this table. So my second person is Miss. Let's see. Say Kalani. Engineer. Okay, so I have a very small database. So with three recipients. Then I need to save my database. Okay, let's see. Yes. So after you have attached the database with the, link database with this mail, this document, so you can access this function, right? So now you can see the option called edit recipient list, address block, deleting line, insert merge field, rules, merge field, right? So now I want to add the recipient name here. For that, so for that you need to go to this point. I mean, go to the mailing and then go to the insert merge field. I want to first add title, then let's say first name and last name, then designation, company name, number, address line 1, address line 2, and Z. Right. So when you click on each and every, on these options, so it will automatically insert this kind of wording, right? So these are fields. So that means this will, these wordings has a internal link with the data, the header of the data set, a database. So in addition to these words, so you can insert any kind of wording. So after title, so I want to add a full stop, dot. Then I want to add a space, then another space with the last name, then I want to add a comma and enter. So my first line is title, then first name and last name, then designation. After the designation, I want to add a comma and enter, then company name, then comma, enter, and a number, comma, enter. Right. So I'll remove the space in between these lines. So I have to, so I'll put this one to make my document. Reduce the space between these text, these lines. Okay, so for now I have inserted the address of the recipient, a title, first name, last name, designation, company name, number, address line 1, 2, and city. So after the city, I have to full stop. Then I would add the so I want to customize this letter for each and every person. That means, so I want to add the greeting lines here. right? So for that, you want to add another merge field here with the title and name. So I want to add a title and last name. So in between these two fields, I want to add a dot and space. All right. So my document, so yeah. So I have my address here first, then date and time. So basically date, and then recipient address, subject line, rating line, and then document body, information that I want to send to this recipient, and finally I have my signature and the address. Right. So now I can generate a separate document for each and every recipient. So if you want to check data with the customized letter with the for selected recipient, so you can click on this one. Go to mailing, then click on the preview results. So when you click on the preview results, so it will show you the first result. So you can move or you can change the recipient from here. Right? So the first result, so my first recipient is Gayan Pereira, Chief Financial Officer, Unilever, blah, blah, blah. Right? And this is also, this also has changed. So dear Mr. Pereira, right? So likewise, you can change or you can check the letter for each and every recipient, right? So when we move to the second person, so now it has been changed. Ms. Kalani Ranavira, engineer, Agrotech Private Limited, number 55 address, and then here, so you can see the Ms. Ranavira, so on, right? Right. So you can change you can customize the letter as you want, right? So finally, so you have to click on this one, finish and merge. So when you click on this finish and merge, so it will generate the document for the given frame. For example, if you want to generate this document from first person to 10th person, but in the database you have, let's assume you have 100 entries, but you want to generate only 10 letters for from first person to 10th person. So you can do that. So when you click on this finish and merge, so you can pick one of these, print documents and email message, or edit individual documents. So I'll pick the first option. So when you select the first option, so it will ask merge records. So you can pick all if you want to generate this document for all of the contacts. All of the entries available in that data set. Or so you can generate a current record. That means this one, the letter for Miss Madhuri Silla, Mrs. Madhuri Silla, right? Or so you can select, or you can change this one from to two, right? So you have three options to generate this one. So I'll pick all one, right? All option, and click OK. So after that, you can see. So in my document, currently I have 3 pages, right? So in these 3 pages, consist same document but with different recipient, right? The first one is Gayan Pereira, second one is Ms. Kalani Ranavira, and third one for Mrs. Madhuri Silva. So likewise, you can generate, you can easily generate a customized document with same content, but for different recipient or some kind of customized information, right? So this is the basic idea of mail merge. So other than that, so I'll so another one is when you click on this this option. So this is a separate document, right? So that means it will generate, it will open up a kind of a new document, new Word document with the head of letters 1. So you can save that bunch of document row. So you can close it without saving. So I'm going to save that one. So this is my original letter. So all right. So now let's say you want to add this information to your document. So I'll disable this preview. Right. So now you can see the merge fields. So anyway, so let's say you want to change this to sir or madam. With, you want to replace this name with the sir or madam. So you have to insert that the wording sir or madam corresponding to this title, right? So you have to pick that word automatically according to this title. So you can do that from this mailing option. So for that, you can go to these rules. So in the rules, so you can see an option if then else, right? So through this one, so I'll select that one, rules, and if and else, right? So in that field, so you can give a kind of if condition. So you can make a kind of if condition. So my if condition is if field name title equals to, let's say, Mr. Then I want to insert sir, or else I want to insert madam. So you can right. So when you, so in my case now it is showing a madam because my title is not equals to Mr. Right. So currently, so my title is empty, but according to the condition I made for this this one, right? So it should be, if it is Mr., so then it should show a word kind sir, or else it show madam. So currently I don't have insert any title. So this is blank one. So that's why it's showing kind of word madam. Right. Anyway, so I'll enable the preview. Right. My according to this preview, so my title is Mrs. Yeah. Still showing madam. The second one is Miss, still madam. First one is Mr. It shows dear sir, right? So likewise, you can change those things. Right? So with this rule, so if you generate this document for individual persons, so it will automatically generate this wording too. It will automatically decide this wording to dear sir, dear madam, and then dear madam, right? So likewise, you can generate, you can pick, or you can program this one to generate individual document with this kind of very sensitive functions, right? So I don't want to say this one too, right? Right. So this is another one. So you can use this advanced features. So kind of making rules or applying rules for the mail merging. And let's say, yeah. So let's say you want to, there are several options here. So if you are interested in about making rules for mail merging, so you can read each one of these, but I will select another one. Yeah, it's filling. Right? It's also very nice tool, nice function. So let's say currently your position is this one. So my position is, let's say my position is a deputy general, and I make this document with the mail merging options, and I handed over this document to another person who's working in another department related to, let's say, general tax, right? So, but he has to change this information and everything. So instead of that, so I can add a different thing. So let's see. Right, I can add filling here. Type a designation, default designation. So let's say my one is DG, Deputy General. So this is yeah. So now it's showing my designation as DG. Right? See, so when I make the document, it will not ask your designation, type your designation, right? So let's say now this time my designation is tax office. So yeah. So, right, I'll close this one. So I have mistakenly, yeah. So, see, this is very important one, right? Ask once. So that means when you generate this document, I mean the merging this document. So if you didn't pick or didn't mark this box, checkbox, so it will automatically ask each and every time. So it will generate the document, right? So instead of that, you can select this option, ask once. So when you pick that option, so the document will ask you your designation, about your designation in the first time, and then it will automatically generate all the sheets or the pages with that designation, right? So I did a mistake here, and I mean the last time. So you can do that. Okay. Type your mission, and my name is PG. Ask once. Yes. See, it's working, right? Right. And so there are so many rules, right? So then, yeah, this is also very interesting one. Skip record if, right? So let's say you want to generate a different document. I mean, the document for a different recipient, but you want to skip generating this document for users who works in Unilever. So then you can go to the script record if, and you can select the field. Let's say my company name equals to Unilever. Okay. Then I'll go to the merge and edit individual document, all records. Ah, yeah. So this time now I have two pages, right? But in my recipe list, there were three persons, right? So it has omitted out, it has skipped to, I mean, generating the document for the person who works in Unilever, right? Because I have set a kind of a rule to skip that entry, right? So SM, you can use that rule too, right? It's also very interesting one. So in generally, so you can, yeah, this is the way that we can use to generate same document for different recipient with different with yeah, with different information, right? The customized information. So in the I will can go to this one, edit recipient list. So this is very important one. So because when you window. All right. Right. So another thing is, so you can make this recipient list from here, type a new list, or you can use an existing list, right? So through that one, so with the existing list, so you can add a kind of existing database, right? So this is my, so currently I haven't linked any kind of database. I'm data set with this mail, this document. So that's why I can't edit these options or enable this option, right? So anyway, so you can select type a new list or can use an existing list. So I have, yeah, I created this REST data yeah, so I created this one. Previously I created this one, so I can pick this or I can link this data set with this mail, right? So when I select that option, so it will automatically yeah. So now you can edit this list. So now I have the data with the Karan Pereira, Kalan Ranagur and Madhura Silva, right? Or you can use Excel sheet for, I mean, as a data list, right? So if you want, so you can generate a database file using Excel. Right. So let's say I use an existing one. So in my desktop, I have different data set. So when you select this one, oh, okay, before that, I will show you what kind of data set I have in that Excel sheet. It's not complete one. So anyway, so say company ABC and insert few more things, few more details to this one. Number 5. Yeah, so this is my data set. So I'm in my Excel sheet, right? I'm going to add this Excel sheet or link this that Excel sheet as my database, right? So I go to the start and this is my sheet. So when I select that option, it as yeah. So that Excel sheet contains one sheet, and I have labeled these two. First row of the data contains column headers. Yes. So now I have now I think see now it contains two data. I mean, it has information about two recipient. First one Diana Bevardhana, Mr. Electromaster Private Limited, Nigambo CEO, blah blah blah, resignation email, so on, right? And then Ranavira Adisha means ABC company, Kaluthara senior scientist, blah blah blah, right? Okay, so likewise you can add those things, but be careful about these information because some of these information, yeah. So I added this information corresponding to the previous data set, but in this data set, you can't see any these kind of merge fields, simply first name, last name. So those the name of these fields has changed in this the second data set. So be careful about that one because if you want to use a already created document for separate data set, the merge fields or the field names should be same, right? Otherwise, it won't make the document, it will show you this kind of message, right? Error, merge field was not found in the header records of the data source, blah, 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 right? So, but see, so this is my designation. So designation is already available in that sheet. I mean, the second data set, and also city is already available in that field. But this information has changed. So you have to add, or you have to modify these fields with the correct data fields with respect to this data set, right? So this one is first name. The difference between this and the previous one is the first name. So in this field, F capital and N capital, but in the previous one, I think it's F simple and then underscore name, right? So be careful about the field names, right? So you can do that. I think you can do that. So anyway, so you will get another assignment to use this function, I mean mail merge option, right? Simply, I showed you how to make a letter to different recipient. So likewise, you can make, or you can use this option to mail email message, envelopes, label, directory, blah, 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 right? So you can use any of these options. So I'll show you another one very quickly. So let's say you have a, okay, let's say, so I'll delete all these things. And so I have linked my recipient list to this document, and I want to make a directory, right, with this data, right, this data, right? So I can insert merge field, Mr. Sorry, I will disable the preview. Then first name, last name, designation, company, number one, address, city. So I like insert all these information, and this time I'm going to make a directory of this recipient list. So you can pick a directory option, and all right. So I have two recipients here. So when you make this so this time, so you can see recipient list in the same document. So it will create a document directory, right? So simply information with this recipient, right? So it will make a directory. So in the directory option, so simply you can create a list of information available in the data set, right? In a one sheet, or yeah, it's just like a directory, right? So likewise, you can generate an email message. So when you select that one, so it will create a wide document. So in this part, so you can generate, or you can write an email message, and at the end of this one, so you can pick a send email message. For that, I mean, if you want to send an email, so you have to mention this information to you have to insert a subject line, and so you have to pick which field contains the email address, and you have to pick those kind of information, right? So for that, we have to insert, this recipient should have the email addresses, in the data set, right? And the mail format is also, you can mention those one. If you want, you can make this as an attachment or a plain text or a HTML file. So HTML means, so basically we can write emails, we can generate emails using HTML. That means if you know about the HTML or working with the HTML, so you can generate your email nicely, and you can add the content of that HTML file as the mail body, right? So you can do that if you want, right? So this is that one is also possible, right? So this is the mail merge part. So if you have any question regarding the mail merge, so you can ask. So other than these options, we made a document for lab reports, right? A template for lab reports, and second part is mail merging. And so the Word, Word has a lot of function. So, but if you are interested in, so you can read those things. So probably you will not see these options. So I have enabled the developer option too, right? So through that one, you can add add-ons, macros. You can write macros, or macros means you can simply write, or you can make a program to do whatever you want automatically, right? Using Word, right? So this option calls macros, right? And yeah, there are several options. So this is this one is a kind of a third-party add-on, right? Wheelbot. So I have used that one, and yeah. So we discussed about reference, layouts, design, right? And yeah, we didn't talk about this one, draw. So normally draw ribbon or draw menu, you can use this draw menu to insert kind of a graphic. If you have a drawing tablets, you can easily draw whatever you want. And after that, you can make that drawing as an object, right? So simply, if you are hoping to, interested in inserting your signature, so you can use that one using this drawing toolbar, right? Drawing tool. And so yeah, this is also very nice one thing to share. That means once you create this see, so when you enable this into shape, I just make a round, but it automatically generated a circle, right? So that means it contains kind of a AI tool, right? And it's when you enable this part, it checks what you are drawing here, and it suggests a similar model to that AI part, right? And this is also similar one. So you can simply write maths here, y equals see. So you don't want to write, type all the things, right? Simply you can use this one too. It's also very, very nice tool. So this is, these function, Microsoft AI part support for these functions, right? So simply you can use those functions too, right? Sure. And another thing I want to show you, so that is about auto saving and those kind of stuff. For that, go to File and then go to this one, Options, right? So under the options, so you can see a lot of other functions too. I mean, these are very these are settings allocated or defined to work for Word, right? This application, right? So simply you can use, you can change these parameters as you wish. So mainly, yeah. So simply you can use username, initials, this information, right? And display options, proofing. Proofing means autocorrect options, grammar and spelling checkers, right? So you can add yeah, you can enable or disable check spelling and mark grammar errors, and you can add the dictionaries here, right? You can customize your dictionary, right? So those kind of settings you can change through these options. And this is very important on save, because normally if you are a person who don't save your document frequently, so you can set this setting to save automatically without having your attention, right? So without having your contribution, so it will automatically save your document. So right now I have used this one, so auto recovery information every 10 minutes. So I will normally use less than 5 minutes, because in our situation it's normally the electricity and everything is very terrible. So you suddenly we can face a kind of a situation without electricity breakdowns. I mean, with the electricity breakdown, so it's better to have this option. But when you change this option, the processing power and RAM utilization will little bit increase, because so all the time the document, I mean the processor process this information and keep those information in the RAM. So if you have a good memory and RAM capacity and the processor, so it's not an issue for going for less time duration, right? And this is the location that the auto recovery files and save location. So if you want, you can change this location into your preferred one, because so if you lost or if you face a sudden power interruption, so after you reboot your system, so you have to go to this location to find out that auto recovered, auto saved version, right? And this is also for save location. So default save location. So in my case, now I have used the OneDrive location, but if you prefer to save your document in a separate hard drive or another partition, so you can change, you can make those changes from here, right? Yeah, so those are very important. So you can add languages, and this is also very important, customize ribbon. Through this point, you can enable or disable what you want to see in the toolbar, right? I mean, for a particular toolbar ribbon, so you can change what kind of functions that you want to see. And also this one is also very important. So you can change or modify the quick access toolbar, this one, right? So what kind of functions or options that you want to access quickly through this quick access toolbar. So currently I have used 3 options, sorry, 4 options: auto save on off, save, undo and redo, right? So you can see those 4 options here: auto save on off, save, undo and redo, right? So you can see, so you can change those options too. So add-ins means if you are interested in add third-party add-ons or kind of a separate application which works on the Word platform, so you can use those things. Yeah. So those are the information. The things that I want to show you. Yeah. Right. So if you have any question regarding this one, so you can ask. Time is 3, so that means we have 2.5 hours to start our. Move to the next part, that is Excel. But before that, if you have any questions, so you can ask.